See this thing here next to me? This is the Force USA Compact Leg Press Hack Squat Combo Unit. This is not to be confused with Force USA's other unit that also does leg press and hack squat. The keyword here is compact. This thing only takes up 52 inches by 65 inches, and you'd be happy to know that yes, that includes the weight horns. A lot of time in the home gym, we have a lot of plate-loaded machines, so the weight horns take up a lot of room. So 65 inches really isn't too wide. So this machine is really compact. Now, this is my fourth leg press unit that I have owned. I've owned a few from different companies, and so I have a lot of opinions on where this shines and a lot of opinions of where it's not so shiny. So if you stick with me through the video, I will go over all the positive things and all the negative things about this piece of equipment. Now, there are a lot of these compact units coming out onto the market, but one of the things that really made me choose this one over a lot of the units is this foot plate. This foot plate is huge. So this foot plate is just under 32 inches wide and 28 inches tall. So it's crazy to me that some of these offerings that are out there have as small as a 22-inch foot plate. I can't imagine not being able to do a wide stance or being able to toe out on a leg press or a hack squat variation or whatever I'm doing. 22 inches for a foot plate is just too small. So Force USA understood the assignment when it comes to the foot plate. I don't understand why other companies aren't doing that. If the weight horns are taking up 65 inches anyways, why not have a big enough foot plate? Another cool thing about this machine that made me choose it over other machines is how much adjustability there is. I'm going to show you how it transforms into a leg press and a hack squat, and even being able to do some calf raises on this thing. This is the position of the foot plate and the chair that I like for the leg press, but I will show you here closer how it adjusts. But just to show you the different angles that this offers, the foot plate comes as low as this position, so you can almost do just like a squat, honestly. Or if you're freakishly tall, then that will help you. While we are on the topic of being freakishly tall, this leg press does allow for an individual to be about 6'8" and still get full extension in the top and get a deep enough squat in the bottom. I do have a client that came and tested this out before he ordered it, and he's about 6'7", and he had no problem being able to do the hack squat or the leg press. All right, guys, this is going to be the painful part of the video where the audio switches because I don't have anything fancy like most of you YouTubers out there, so bear with me. First, I'm going to show you how to adjust this seat. Like I said, this does leg press and hack squat, so to be able to put it in hack squat variation, you just pull that knurled pop pin and lay it back. Now, the knurled pop pin is a nice touch because generally they are plastic. I will say with the knurled knob still feels cheap. I don't think it's metal. That being said, it still is an upgrade from like a little plastic cheapy pop pin. It just definitely gives it an overall feel of more of a commercial quality over having like those cheap pop pins that always break. Something else I wanted to show you guys is it comes with this shoulder pad that also helps with the hack squat because this is what holds your body in when you're laying flat. So how you put this in, and I will say this is one of my negatives. So something that I've done a billion times is when I pull this pop pin, this shoulder, I don't even know what to call this. This shoulder attachment basically is so forward heavy. And so when you go, even though this is a handle and it's nice that there is a handle, when you go to put this in and you pull the pin, I have smashed my thumb so many times right there. I don't know if there is a good fix for that other than not being stupid, which I will try, but for some reason, I have smashed my thumb a billion times there. Okay, so just be aware of that if you get this unit. Be careful putting this in. I don't know why no one has said anything about that because it's serious. Then from there, once you have the shoulder pad in, you pull this pop pin, you lay this down, and then boom, you're in hack squat mode. Now with the hack squat mode, I'm 5'2". These shoulder pads are all the way down. You do have a few inches of, you can adjust the shoulder pad higher, lower. And so yeah, it's all the way down as far as it can go. And that makes it so when I squat, I can get pretty good depth. So you can see I'm like right below 90. I do wish maybe I could get an inch or two more, but I like to live my life on the edge, and sometimes I stand on the calf block when I'm doing hack squats. I don't recommend that. It's probably pretty dangerous, but that is the hack squat variation. It's very comfortable. I do get more depth out of this than I did in a lot of my other combo units. My other combo units with hack squat, I was barely able to get 90 degrees. So I was happy to find that I can actually reach 90 degrees on this. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it into leg press mode. So I actually like to keep the shoulder pads on for the leg press mode. I kind of like hanging onto the handles up top. I just feel more locked in. Obviously, that is optional. You can take those that shoulder pad attachment off and leave it off. But yeah, it's just something that I find is kind of fun. I kind of like being this locked in to the leg press. All right, so one last thing I wanted to show you was this calf block. So with the calf block, something that kind of not bothered me, but I don't know, it was the texture. Even though it had the diamond texture, it was still so slippery. Like the metal is so smooth. So of course I put grip tape on it. You can see the diamond pattern coming through. So now when you use this calf block, you ain't going nowhere. But there's another pop pin under the base plate, and all you do is pop it in like that. And then you're going to want to twist the pop pins on the seat, on the shoulder pad attachment. Make sure you twist the pop pin so that it doesn't wobble. A lot of people don't realize that's why it'll wobble. So like right now, this is a little wobbly, but if I tighten up the pop pins, then boom, a lot more stable, a lot less shaky, especially the backrest. The shoulder pad attachment does have a little bit of shake to it, but it definitely doesn't feel like unstable or gimmicky when you're in it. So this is the calf block. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't be jealous of my calves now. I know they're freaking huge, but you know, you just got to train them every day like me. I'm just kidding. I was born with these cankles. But yeah, that's the calf block. It's awesome. I feel like it's in a good position. I think the calf block on their version 1 used to be up higher on the base plate. I can't imagine it being up higher on the base plate. So now that it's like right in the middle, it's awesome. And then also because I'm short, like I said before, sometimes I will do the hack squat off this calf block just because it gives me a little bit more range of motion. But like I said, it's a little dangerous. Okay, now I want to go over some of the negative sides of this machine, and that way I can help you decide if this is a machine for you or not. Most of them are small. One of them is a big issue. So the first thing is the material / texture of the base plate. I'm not a fan. It does feel quality. It's just not super grippy in my opinion. So adding grip tape is a simple fix, and it looks just fine. Doesn't look ghetto or anything like that. The second thing, the calf block absolutely is slippery and sucks. It's beefy, so at least like the quality of the metal and stuff is fine. It's just the texture, even though it's diamond plated, that calf block is super slippery. So I'm not saying it sucks because it's like flimsy or anything, but just the texture of the calf block just sucks. So you're definitely gonna want to cover that in grip tape for sure. The third thing is this little chrome plating at the end of the weight horns is just shredding off. Every time I take a plate off, basically all these little shiny, glittery things are flying everywhere because it's just so cheap. I don't know if it'll focus on my finger, but there is a little bit, just from touching it, there's a little bit of shininess on my finger. So here in about a month, it'll probably just be, all scratched up and look like crap. It's not a huge thing, but it's something that's like, okay, like that should be a simple fix. That being said, with the price point of this machine, just under $1,000, these are just minor things that can be fixed. And like I said, for the price point, I think this machine is awesome. But now time to cover the biggest issue. I'm going to get a close up. So the biggest issue, and if you've seen Coop's review on this little piece on a handful of people's units have fallen off. This piece catches this safety handle, like when you go to lock it into place. It will still lock without that nub, but this little metal nub, it keeps the handle from completely falling down into the side and dragging on the floor right here. So that is a huge issue. When I first got this, there's a small, tiny little tack weld, and that's what failed, is that tiny tack weld. Force USA did send me a new carriage, so a whole carriage they sent me. And so that's like really cool of them. It did take them 6 weeks to send that out. So that kind of sucked. By the time they sent it out, I had fixed it myself by buying a cheap little handheld welder, and I just welded it myself. I do not know how to weld, so it was pretty scary, pretty trial and error. But yeah, they wouldn't give me a straight answer on how long it would take. They kept saying they would provide me with the tracking info when it became available, but they couldn't tell me when that was going to be. They even ignored me for a couple weeks. So I don't think that was their intention. But I also don't feel like they're taking it seriously, because in Coop's review of the machine, his nub, that little nub I just showed you, broke off in the video. And then Force USA commented on Coop's review and said, like, we stand by our product, like, sorry that happened to you. But the correct response would have been like, oh my gosh, like, if this is happening, then we have to probably inspect that and see if there's a better solution. So the new part that they sent me has like only 2 small tack welds, so I don't see it being any stronger than what I had originally. So I think what I did welding that is going to last probably better than if I was to put the new carriage on. So I'm going to leave it be and then keep the carriage in case like I ever need to replace these nylon rollers that this machine has. So that is probably the biggest problem, is that little nub has been, it's a handful of people that it's happening to, where that nub has fallen off. It doesn't make the machine not usable. Like I said, you can still use the handle to lock it into place, but without that nub, the handle does just hang there. So I've even seen someone say that they made a tether, which you shouldn't have to do. Even though it's only like $1,000 piece of equipment, you shouldn't have to do that. Like, it should function properly. So I would like Force USA to say, hey, like, we are going to make sure this weld on here, when we go to inspect our machines, that weld is strong. Because yeah, it's not just one person it's happening to. It happened to me, happened to Coop. In the comments, if you read the comment section, it's happened to a lot of people. So that's the only thing that I would really like to see fixed on this machine and remedied. So that is my review of the compact Force USA leg press. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any questions about this piece of machine.